Alright, welcome back to the game of the day. Really frustrating one to make here, because basically when a bug in the system came out, I tried some PvP queues, and it was horrendous. It was one of the worst experiences I've had in all of Season 9 and 10. I don't know what it was, but you'd think with a lot more people in the game, because of a patch, the matchmaking would be way better. But I played 3 games in a row, or something like that, where I lost all 3 of them. So I was top 5 when this started. I lost all 3 of them. All of them were like minus 20s and I think a minus 19. So it completely obliterated me, and they were utterly unwinnable games. Completely unwinnable games. In 2 of them, the game match made me with double thief. So it put me, a fresh air, hyper squishy, skirmishy character, with 2 thieves. And on both games, neither of the thieves, and it is a scary and unfortunate fact, most thieves that play PvP, unfortunately, are very good. Again, I don't want this series to be about me pooing on other players, but anyway, I had a really, really miserable experience. So then I thought, okay, for the game of the day, I'll just, I'll leave off ranked for a bit. I'll play some unranked until maybe the quality of the games goes up again a bit. I'll play a ton of unranked, and we'll show off some meme builds. I'll do something else. People have been asking me to play a different build for ages. So I played a ton of pile driver LEQs in unranked, and while they were mediocre, sort of vaguely interesting games, they weren't that great in the end. So the game of the day is this, which I've almost picked randomly. I'm not sure it's going to be that good, but hey, let's go for it. There is this, basically, I'm picking this game because this was going to have a bonus clip in it, but now the bonus clip is going to be the highlight of the whole video. Yeah. And it's a minor little bit of thing that I can teach some of you newer guys. So we'll see how it goes. This is the game of the day. We're on the red team. This was before a bug in the system came out. And I was still having an awful lot of fun in here. I find I have to be really careful. I leave myself open to being frustrated with the matchmaking and stuff when I actually start trying to care. My main goal was top 25 this season, and I'm not even in that anymore because of the 3 unwinnable losses that ArenaNet handed me, so we'll see. Anyway, so the game opens. Let's get into actual commentary here. I came out the side because I saw that my engineer here was being harassed on the cross, and even better, I play very aggressively on this one. Usually I just sort of stay like fairly defensive because the crosses are like rangers and warriors and you don't kill them very easily. This time though, I actually push into it because this is a very squishy guy. This is a power mesmer, as we can quite clearly see. And that means 2 things. 1, I can actually kill this pretty quickly. 2, he might kill my ally, so I need that aggression. Their Scourge has had some awareness, so you can see this player up here is just zerging the node and trying to hold Newt, and he's running into a 2v1, which often you see people do. I don't think is often the right play, especially, is that player a Scourge? I'm not sure, but it's often not the right play. This Necro's got a little bit more wits and has seen that something's exploding, and what you're essentially looking at Graveyard is a 2v2. When most people hear the word Graveyard when it comes to PvP, they think of Legacy because of the central node, I think it's called Graveyard. But this is actually Graveyard as well. It's just not a node-based area. Just like behind the camera right now, we have Beach, okay? And it can be worth knowing that. If you ever end up deciding to play a team, if you're trying to get some really easy, good gold in these tournaments and you try and snowball a little crew up for yourself, which, by the way, there's tons of space to do right now, and I would really recommend, I'd love to see people trying that. When you're communicating with one another, just, this is Graveyard, okay? So anyway, we've got our target on this Mesmer, obviously. We take the kill. You could consider this a peel, if you like. So I'm not quite sure where the term comes from. Maybe if I've got any knowledgeable PvPers who watch this series, you can tell me in the comments. But by peeling, essentially, if we've got an ally who's being aggressed, and I attack the guy that's aggressing him, that's like a peel. That's allowing him to peel out of the fight, to escape from the fight safely. And having the awareness to do that, to cover your allies so they can peel out, is really important. And so this was essentially a peel here, where I sort of blew him up. The Hollow's moving on, and I'm still looking, and I noticed that he's been attacked by a Guardian. I think that's a Guardian. No, it's a Mesmer. I thought it was a Guardian because I saw the Aegis proc, but it's a Chaos Mesmer. Or at least just from the staff. So now they go for the res on the guy that I put down. My ally, I think here, condied the body, and then he plague signated me, which is why I have 10 vuln, I have 3 bleed and some poison, which is a little bit annoying, but it's not too bad. I'm pretty sure the 10 vulnerability comes from marksmanship rangers, and because he's running this pet as well, I can kind of tell here that he's a squishy ranger. So through the transfer from my enemy, I can now understand my allies build a bit better, which is an interesting little thing there. Here I'm scared and I have to pull away because the Necro on the left, this Necro here, if he attacks me, I'm a goner. And also, I'm really scared of him attacking me and putting weakness on me, which means I can't cleave this body very effectively. So the body's really low right now, 98%. This is post-patch because we got thick health bars, don't we? This is post-patch because we've got thick health bars. I haven't talked about this on Game of the Day. This is amazing, guys. The game is so much more easy to read right now. It's so good. So we throw an Arcane Blast to try and stop the res going off. We don't get it. Right now, I'm pretty grumpy with this guy. I don't know what he was playing at, but I think he stopped a barrage, which is just not very good for cleaving bodies. It's cripple. It's really dumb. Basically, he traded good damage on the body to do splash damage on 3 targets at the cost of letting someone get res. Like, how is that smart at all? So here's a cool little play. I know I got a Power Mesmer on me, who I just burst, remember? So the Power Mesmer wants me dead. And he knows because I burst him hard, I'm a good target for him. We both know that we can kill one another very easily. I look at the map at this point and I notice that I have a 2-cap, and we're pretty comfortable. Our Necro's in position, our Mesmer's in position, a D-cap even occurred over here. We're in a really strong opening. I don't really need to risk a real 1v1 here and risk dying. All I need to do is bail comfortably out from the Mesmer. And I don't really know whether I can get a good burst on him. So, I opt to run circles around him and see what else I can do. So here we're actually hit for 5 burn. I guess he's a Condi Mesmer, actually. He was on Greatsword, though. I don't know. Maybe it's just because he's using Torch for the stealth. So we peel away, and you'll notice here, instead of walking towards the camera and all the way around to my spawn, okay, which would be a method of getting away, don't get me wrong, I could do that. But he'll just follow me there, and then it's a 1v1 at my spawn, and I don't really care about that. I want him to go off and fight someone else, and I can jump him when he's not aware, right? That's what I want to do. So instead of going towards that, a plan hatches in my mind, and I come back towards the bridge here. And I'm looking specifically at one cooldown right now, and it's Lightning Flash. So all I got to do is play around with him at the bridge. So I'm going to run under the bridge to line of sight him. This is very similar. My camera's closed in, so you can't see very well. But this is extremely similar to what you saw in that Temple of the Silent Storm game the day before. We know that if we're running circles around stuff like this, get these obstructs, this allows us to stay alive. We buy enough time to get our Lightning Flash all the way up. We get our heal, and we take a sneaky escape. So I take this escape here. God, I paused it at the worst possible time here. Let's rewind just so you can see my ground targeting. So what I'm going to do is from standing... You can't be standing too close when you do this, or you'll get no valid path. I'm not actually 100% sure of it. I tend to just get this quite early. It's something I should practice. But if you stand, like, close enough to the bridge, and you choose to teleport on top of this waterfall, there's actually a little hole where the water flows through. And if you ground target over there, you'll blink into the cave at the waterfall and the bush, an area of the map I'm guessing a lot of you guys watching this video right now don't even know exists. And you can walk through, and what I've just done there in one easy little maneuver is I've completely peeled away from the Mesmer. Completely. So, this was my plan all along when I turned around, when I was standing over here at this road. Because what I want to happen now is the Mesmer to get to not know what's happened or get bored and leave. And I want him to go fight somewhere else. Look at this. I want him to walk into this 2v1, or I want him to walk into this grossness here, and then I can turn it back on him. So I'm holding the camera to watch. If he's a remotely good player, he will probably blink. He'll know what's happened, and he could even use his own blink to come after me. So I come right up to the node to be 100% sure, and you'll see he actually does. But this is okay, because look at the space. Look at the gap we've created here. We're a fresh air early. This is really good. I don't even utilize that space, to be honest. We come up onto this. This is no port, but I'm not using it because it's no port right now. I'm using this because it's really frustrating to get to me. If he blinks around here to try and aggress me, I can burst him with the plasma beam straight away. If he comes around here, I get even more time to get my heal back up. He's got to do like the fiddly jump. His phantasms can be annoying. Don't forget, if he's line of sight on any of his phantasm skills, he's screwed. You've just seen him randomly cast his Greatsword 3, and I don't even think it's hit me. So he's frustrated now. He can't do anything. He's wasting time now, right? Like, he's essentially 1v1ing someone on a capped node. Kind of. And he's wasting time. So he knows his only way is to do this. By the way, remember that he blinked to get through the waterfall. So unless he did that with, like, I think you might be able to phase retreat it. I don't know. Or a jaunt. I don't even know if you can jaunt it. But unless he did one of those, he doesn't even have blink to take the aggressive play here. So we've really pushed him into a nasty position. This is a great place to come to if you've just duped someone through that and they've been smart enough to come at you. So we just wait for him to get in range. We burst him. He gets on the node. He doesn't quite know what to do. He pops his mantra randomly. He used Bird Frenzy to try and stay alive. He stealths. We know that he's probably going to try and line of sight us under this. So we come under. We cover our next set of aggression with an Obsi Flesh. I could have played a lot more aggressively there. He blinks up to me. I think that was a jaunt up to me. And it's a really easy 1v1. Like, really, really, really easy. And it's because I didn't take the risk of trying to kill him earlier when, you know, our cooldowns were sort of matched and he actually had space and opportunities to be aggressive. I took, you know, a part of the map, knowledge of a part of the map, and I managed to use that to my advantage. So that's pretty nice. I'm going to rot him here. I don't really care about doing too... Actually, this is a bad play from me. This is a bad play because I had a ranger dead. If I'd looked at the ranger dead on my team, I could have moved up straight away because a ranger's dead on my team, which means that the ranger's going to respawn at the red keep here, and he's going to run down and he's going to be able to bleed that body out, just like I was. I was actually wasting time here. What I should have done is immediately look to see if any allies were dead. You should always do that. Rule of thumb, it's because I don't play many builds that watch close at the moment very much, but rule of thumb, if you are standing AFK on close, you should always be watching your team, right? Because if one of your allies die, you're free to push up. On any map, this is true. On any map. Maybe there's some exceptions, but nearly always that's true because your respawning ally can pick up the close node watching. Just as long as you use your camera aggressively as you walk away from it to make sure those few seconds where you're apart from it, nothing too dangerous happens. Also, you've got the other fact to consider that if an ally just died, it probably means your team is dying in a fight somewhere, and they need your help. They need your full health and all your cooldowns up, right? So yeah, bad play from me. I should have pushed up and let the Mesmer bleed out on his own. Bad play from the Ranger who shoots the Mesmer because, hey, it's fun to shoot things with a longbow. So he does that pretty... it's not a big deal because he was rotated so hard. We come to mid. Probably too late. Let's see. But you see how I move into an active engagement here, right? We know that this is an active engagement because our friend just respawned. So anyway, that is why I pushed up, but I did it too late. So anyway, we take a kill. That's very good. It's an advantage of being this build right now. Bad twist of fate there from me. I should have just dodge rolled. Dar runs that portal. I love this portal. This portal is so cool. I don't mean it's necessarily the greatest thing for the Scourge to run. I think the higher level and like if it's proper pre-mades, it can peel you out of some interesting situations. But I love it when I'm playing Fresh Air Ellie and they run this. You can do so many cool things with this. In Vapor form, you can go through it. You can do lots of fun things. And especially if they're blood and they're running this and you get tons of barrier from it. It's nice. He's on the enemy team though here, so I don't really get to take any advantage of it. I don't even know. They're red rings. I don't even know what happens if I walk into those. Do they do damage? I actually don't know. Anyway, so we push this. I actually quite like my Necromancer positioning here, by the way, because I don't want any dirty back caps or anything going on. But it looks like the Mesmer that we killed on blue has now respawned and ran to our nodes, which is why it's contested. I'd expect that to be the respawning Mesmer. Tons of downs here. So my only opportunity is to cleave this, kill it, and double rally my team. It's my only opportunity. We miss it by the skin of our teeth. As soon as that happens, we know that they're going to get a double rally. I have to peel out. I have to run away. We can't now take a 1v2 or whatever. So we run away. Our Necromancer's done well at mid here. The Thief's about to get on the node, but he gets there in time. So he's 2v1, so this is a 2v2 at mid. I decide that I'm going to come up here. We throw a Phoenix to clear some clones. Just take stock of who's who. We get aggressed. I'm not sure what that was. I guess it was the Mesmer. This must be a Condi Mesmer. He's on staff as well, isn't he? Or maybe there's two. I don't know. There's definitely a Condi Mesmer. This is a Condi Mesmer. So we get exploded. Enemy team plays well there. Well, no. I thought that my Necro was still alive, in which case their heavy aggression, the double aggression from players, would have been really nice against me. But it would have been both the Mesmers slammed me out there. But look, this is what we like to see. The Mesmer on our team that respawned after that stomp, he saw that this was lost, and instead of stagger walking into the mid-fight, which is always bad, what's he going to do? Delay it for a second, suicide, give them 5 points, be on respawn for longer. Instead of doing that, he immediately takes the cross, and he gets side nodes. So you see how aggressively I got hit around the back with the Mesmer? That's because they zerged mid, and our Mesmer, by going to the side node there, he is, he's punishing them for their zerg. So that's great. So this Necro, he's running Small Shade. This is not the first bad play that we've seen from this guy here. Small Shade's generally not very good, and you can see I can take a 1v1 with this guy. He's not even put weakness on me once this fight. He hasn't got the range to do anything. I guess he's not even got torch, so we're just going to aggress him. Really nasty obstruct on the Arcane Blast there. This guy's dead. He's so dead, but because the Arcane Blast would have immobed him. But unfortunately, it got obstructed, so if he ran around to the left to bait that was really good from him. And now he gets peels from Dar. So Dar is a real Scourge build and can weaken me and stuff, so I can't do anything. Dar doesn't aggress me too much, though, and I notice look at all these opportunities. It's infuriating. There I throw a blind on the Scourge in the middle of his consumed conditions, so I actually made his heal skill heal him for more, which is frustrating, and probably if I was a perfect player, I wouldn't have done that. So we just get back onto aggressing this same guy. Because their push on far was a failure. Bad play from the enemy team here. I honestly think they could have made some swings at that close point. If you look at what this Necro that we're fighting right now, if you look at what they've done, they've respawned and ran around getting attacked by me. That's literally what they've done. So we move back into the mid engagement. This isn't actually that important. I would rather be taking the plus over on far. If you look at far here, there was a 1v1. Sorry, I'm trying to pause here. There was a 1v1, and maybe when this Arcane Blast Obstruct landed, if I'd turned around and I'd ran all the way to this side of the map, I could have swung this 1v1 and we'd still have very secure sides. Instead, I've like been baited into this long run around the whole map, and now I'm at mid, and mid's not going very well. We're getting a stomp here, but yeah, our Rangers deciding to PvE as well. Is that a good moment to do it? Probably, because we now outnumber them as long as this stomp goes through. There is a thief on the enemy team, so it's always a bit dangerous. I eat a lot of Condi pressure. I take this jump around the side. So this is not very strong most of the time, but it is no port. So the reason this isn't very strong, by the way, we can run all the way along here. Just to be clear, any kind of melee build, an axe warrior, greatsword warrior, dagger thieves, anything, you can, from on this platform, you can run up to the fence and you can auto attack through the wall and you can kill players. The player, you could kill me here, right? I'm forced to back off, and then I'm in port legal area again. There is one part of this where you can climb onto like an invisible wall thing, and you can basically stand on the fence, in which case the auto attacks won't hit you, but a player who jump auto attacks will still be able to press you off. So it's not that strong. It's mostly strong for like baiting someone to fall down if they follow you, but you don't want to stay here too long. Right now it's okay because there is a thief here. And we can see from this skill 2 here, he's actually a sword thief. So we're denying his steel and his sword too by standing here, which is okay. But I can't really pressure them. My guys are dying. My ranger, because he chose to go for the boss, if you look at the minimap here, my ranger, because he chose to piss about waiting for the boss, he's now staggering into mid. Which is a bad play from the ranger. It was not worth going for the boss, in my opinion, in the end. Take the double cap and then get the boss later. You can kind of view bosses... You know how I say that the node is the reward for the team fight? Yeah, so the node comes secondary to the team fight. Well, Beast is like a layer beyond that. It's the node is the reward for the team fight. The Beast is the reward from the node, okay? If you have a secure 2 cap and you have people guarding them, then Beast can be a good play. But even then, you've got to be careful of people stealing and stuff. So, like, it's like the ultimate reward. Because this mechanic doesn't give you enough attribute points at the moment, it can't be too comfortably used as a play to regain aggression on the map. Sometimes it can, just through the raw point score. Sometimes you'll lose a game just because they farm every single boss and you don't punish them for it. But in general, the better the players are, the higher the chance that a boss will get stolen, the less play it will see. Unless the devs increase the attribute score and it can become something of a comeback mechanic, maybe, but... At the end of the day, if you're looking for a comeback mechanic, you've lost map control anyway, and their chance of stealing goes up even more. So here we're standing on this. This is a no port spot, because I have a thief and a Mesmer killing me. I'm in a 2v1 right now as I'm trying to bail out of mid. So we take the Mesmer. He pushes us off, which is really bad. Is not what I want. Here I blink up. My goal is probably to return to no port. I down one of them in the 2v1. I hide in here for the obstructs. They take the res. Oh, no, they don't take the res. My Engie's in. My Engie plays like a boss. That's really good. I'm trying to target the Mesmer. That would have been a really nasty Phoenix, but he gets the interrupt with the Greatsword 5 just because he's spamming through his Greatsword abilities. Really frustrating. My Engie doesn't really do anything quick enough. The small shade gets dropped on me. I vapor out of it, so that's really nice. Necro doesn't know to cleave. I go back towards my blood guy. Remember what I said on Colosseum the other day? When you go downstate, look at the minimap and see what allies are around, so that especially if you're an elite, you vapor towards them. That's what I did. I vapored towards my allied necromancer, who res me up. If I'm lucky, he's blood as well, and he can get me even quicker. So we do that. The Engie that has been essentially peeling for us. The Engie took the aggro of the necro, and he put the super low Mesmer downstate. Now he's in danger. So, luckily we're a fresh air early, though. We can really quickly cleave that body out. Right now I'm on the Mesmer because my play is a very high volatile play. I don't know whether it's very good. But what I reason right now is if the Necro comes into res, I can blow them both up with Phoenix, plasma beams and whatnot. If my guy goes down, then I can retarget to the Mesmer and an instant rally him. So I'm staying on this guy to try and get the harass on so that we can get the double kill and the rally. I feel like this is the earlier thing to do. If I plasma beamed this body early, it would die, and my Engie's still on low health, and then that's it. I have to try and take a res or I have to bail. I only get one Obsi Flesh res, and I don't even know if it's up right now. Okay, so, and it's a Necro. We'll cleave over the body like mad. So it's a high volatility, but there's a big reward here. If I let this guy go down first because he keeps getting attacked, I can rally him, and we can even turn it into a double kill on our side. Because don't forget, when you go downstate, it cleanses all your conditions as well. So anyway, that's what's going through my mind. That's why I'm on the Scourge. And like a dream, we get the interrupt as he goes through. I think that was Nerve and Synergy. I think we even saw a Prime Light Beam from the Hollow. The Hollow's not even low. We can really punish this Necro. Necro plays terrible here again. All he had to do was stand behind this pillar here, and he would have been line of sighting my stuff, and I would have been forced to walk into him, and oh dear, he's a PvE Necro. He's running the small shades, and he's probably got, like, his elite up and stuff. That's the worst thing in the world. He could easily just counter me by doing that. Now, granted, he's 1v2, and he's low, and I don't know what our Hollow would do, but he's kind of pressured as well. He could have bought himself more time, and if you can buy yourself more time, you always want to do that. Look at his allies. He's got allies around. So, yeah, but he just immediately YOLOs out to what exactly? I don't know. Anyway, so he dies. We've had a substantial lead the whole way through the game. They're not doing anything. Here I see a Thief. Immediately Twist of Fate. So there, by the way, if you rewatch this, little thing, people say that Guild Wars is always about playing the UI now in some kind of like wry, dim-witted, sort of holier-than-thou way. But check this out, right? I swing my camera. You can't see it there because of the thing. I'm not targeting this guy, but literally by looking at him, maybe I recognize the character name, to be fair. But I know this is a Thief immediately. I'm scared of him. I used Twist of Fate. I might have also been tipped off that it was a Thief because I think we saw the end of an Infiltrator's arrow a second ago, his short bow 5, which teleports him. So anyway, I use this and I'm immediately looking back to the no port. I can cleave the body from the no port as well, so it's kind of beautiful. So we do this. We retarget to him. We get the friggin' Rifle 4 knockback into the Phoenix wombo combo. So here, I walk towards for the aggression. I see he turns around. I'm scared he's going to look at me. I come back to no port. I notice that he's actually on the NG. I take the Plasma Beam Lightning Flash forwards. I do it quite badly. He returns. He returns again. This Thief should have bailed instead of doing these constant returns. We get the easy kill. Me and this Hollow have just sort of been destroying them on Graveyard for an enormous amount of this game. And by the way, look at how much has been happening on Graveyard. Look, you see the square I just drew? Look at how much of this game has been here. What does that tell you guys, all right? That it's not all about the caps. Easiest way to tell if someone's bad at Conquest and sort of new to Guild Wars is they're losing the game and they're screaming, fight on the caps, fight on the caps. It's not always about fighting on the caps, seriously. This is winning us the caps by intercepting and taking the fights where the fights matter, by saving our lives. If they're down on the roads, then the fight moves to the roads. Ideally, if you can, if there are situations where obviously you want to take a fight to a cap, definitely. But it's not like some rule of thumb, you're automatically bad if you're not doing it. So here's an interesting stomp. I don't need to describe my play there. I saw that there was a Necro was low. I went up and I pushed him. I could take the blind here with the Arcane Blast. But I'm also curious. I don't know whether it will happen, but this can happen. If you stomp someone through map geometry, like this wall here, he might get obstructed on his fear. He might not actually land it. That probably wouldn't have been obstructed, and he didn't try and fear anyway. He's probably upset and the game's over for him, so whatever. But yeah, but sometimes you can do that. Hopefully I'll get a clip of that on the game today. And here, finally, we come to the bonus clip. Are you guys ready? Right at the end of the game, we have the bonus clip. We've got what I estimate. I don't know why I'm going far here. I think I should be going close. I guess we get a really easy kill. I noticed that the Hollow's going for decap. We're zerging hard. We abandoned mid here, so it's pretty bad. And now the bonus clip will come. So we see a portal that's there. We know that there's a Mesmer sniffing around somewhere. We know it. We come up to defend mid because of the zerg. And what do you know? Because I had the awareness to do this, because I knew that the Hollow had that, because I knew that we've already staggered them, and this is a 1v2 anyway. We don't need to maintain the zerg. We come back to mid. So, a little bit of a rotation there. But, so, here we got a Mesmer. What's he? Is that an axe I can see in his hand? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what variety of Mesmer this is. He's got a portal here, by the way. He runs into a Ranger trap. So, these questionable plays we've seen from our Ranger, he's on a questionable build as well. So, there you have it. But, he runs into the trap, which helps us. This is not about my strength of the 1v1. This is just to teach you a little thing. He has a portal. I mentioned this on a previous game of the day. I'll add another thing, right? Portal is a free save your life. But also, this is the mid fight, and he has portal. So, if you see a Mesmer who has the portal up, and you're taking an engagement on one of the sides, there's a chance you'll kill them anyway, because portal has a range limit on it. So, if I ever see a Mesmer with a portal up on a side, I usually try and take the fight anyway, because there's a chance he has established the entrance, like, over here, where my ally is, but we're fighting him on far, like, back towards the camera. We're fighting him over here. And if that's the case, he can't port out, he can't save his own life, right? So there is a chance you can still do something. But what makes this something that was relevant on the previous game of the day is relevant here as well. He has a portal up, and it's mid. So if a Mesmer has a portal up at mid, it doesn't matter really where he established the opening. On nearly any map, it doesn't matter where he established the opening. He's probably going to get out safely because mid is, you know, equidistant from the other caps. There are situations like, you know, if he's put into a Lord or whatever and you catch him far away, but that's pretty specific and you won't see that on Game of the Day unless I do this for a long time. Anyway, so, yeah, he runs into my Ranger's traps. That helps me a lot. I take a random dodge back because I don't know what he's doing. Here he's stealthed and I'm maintaining my auto attack. You'll see my character shifting left and right. That's because I am actually still attacking him. You can't see the animation, but I am still attacking him. I'm tracking it to him, and I'm just holding still. If I like WSD and run over there, and he runs back here, that would break my attack because he'd go behind me, a bit like when Plasma Beam fails. And I don't want to do that, so I'm just standing still. This also lets me know, is he kiting up this way, is he kiting up this way, because my character will turn to face them. I don't know whether ArenaNet like this interaction, and it's a bit of a weird one, but it's a really strong thing and a fun play to pull off. So I'm holding my autos. It turns he goes on the aggressive. He jumps me with a ton of Condi, which I insta-cleanse, followed by an Invuln. He's pretty low. The new health bars, by the way, look, I know exactly which one he is. Small health bar, big health bar on this guy, so really nice. We take the kill. Okay, so this is the bonus clip right here. We see that he's on 16% health. I'm triggering a Plasma Beam. The thing is, and he's going to stealth during this. The thing is, if he dodges while in stealth, or he distorts, or he does anything really, this Plasma Beam won't kill him. So when he goes stealth, last we saw this Mesmer was alive. Last we saw he was alive. And I threw an attack out. And we play a couple of frames forward, and now I know he's dead. You'll notice down here on the bottom right that there's nothing that says Warden of Storms killed this Mesmer. You'll notice that we don't see a body anywhere. And yet I know he's dead. The reason that I know he's dead is because on the mini-map, there's a downstate icon up there. So if anyone ever dies in stealth, and again, I don't know whether the devs intended for this, but if they ever die in stealth, the mini-map will mark a downstate icon, this red triangle, it will mark a downstate icon at their last known position. Okay? So I know he's dead, and I can just casually walk over here. Actually, I twisted fated there, so maybe I didn't. Maybe I just didn't want to attack me in downstate, and we just stand here waiting around because it's the end of the game. Okay, and we click through. So that is that's a nice little thing that you can do. We'll watch it again. If you watch the minimap very closely, this entire moment here, you'll see he disappears completely from the minimap, and then the downstate icon appears afterwards. It's really funny because I know that I use the minimap here. That's why I saved this as a bonus clip. But I seem to be playing as though I think he's still alive. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe this is why my ranked queues have been so bad. I'm losing it a little bit, guys. So there you go. Anyway, this was just before the nasty, like, downward trend began. Here we're at, what, number 7 NA? And I think my next few games are going to be really, really, really rough. So there you have it, guys. That's the game of the day. I do want to show you some other builds, because I really am very scared to play ranked at the moment. I guess I will, though. We'll see. Cheers. I hope you... And this new patch never added the new PvP armor and whatnot either, so hey. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you for some more game of the day very soon.